Hello everybody, and this is part 2 of my Sega Saturn collection. Let's get started. Okay, here we have X-Men. I have a lot of good Capcom or acclaimed fighting games on here. And this is not bad. I have good things about it. I remember reading about this in GamePro a while ago. It's not bad. You play like different X-Men, including some enemies, I think, too. You know, they have 1 or 2 players, special moves, and it costs, this was $20 set. I didn't get this at Level Up. This is before Level Up opened up, so I got it at a different store. So, yeah, but this is not bad. This is fun. It's a fun Saturn fighter game. Made actually by Capcom, actually, so yeah, and I guess it got really good reviews. At least the arcade game got really good reviews on GamePro. So yeah, good stuff. And of course on this I got a level up here. Monster Jam! He's on fire! Boom shakalaka! This is cool because this is the first. What I liked about this one is I do have this on the Super Nintendo and Genesis and the Game Gear. But what's cool is this really gave it this was a very more arcade accurate version, because it had realistic, as it says here, it had realistic scaling. So if you went away from your perspective, the player would get smaller. If you went down the court, if you came down more toward the bottom of the court, the player would get bigger. And it had video, full motion video, and all that fun stuff. I think I did do a review on this on a Power Up back in the day, a couple reviews back. I think last year I did. But I thought this was a really fun game. And I actually have I bought the Wii version as well, which is very enjoyable. So, yeah. And here's some baseball. Oh, look, it's baseball! Well, now since the playoffs have started, the American League Championship Series has started, I thought I might have to do this for a review maybe, or one of my other baseball games. But I think I only played one game of this, and I think I won. So, but it's not bad, very enjoyable, not too shabby. Okay, the next one is Sonic R. This, I know people gave it a lot of crap, but no, if you take it for what it's worth, it's not a bad racing game, even though it can be hard to control at times, but it didn't cost me too much. And I figured, and I thought the music was very intriguing to say the least. It actually has like a vocalist as you play it, which is really weird. And each player has their own abilities and among other things. And there's shortcuts, but there's not a lot of tracks in this game. I think only 4. But it was a cool, and I think I also have it as part of the Sonic Gems collection on the GameCube. So that version is more high resolution graphics, but it's kind of cool to add this to the collection as well. Well, and here we go, another fighting game from Capcom, Marvel Superheroes. This is also fun. This is a cool little, you have gems to collect and other things, but it's kind of you can play as like Wolverine, Spider-Man, and all the rest of those guys. But yeah, very fun. Me and my friend Josh played this quite a bit, so it's really fun to play. I would highly suggest you pick it up if you can. Look, I have Rayman. Granted, I have yet to get the new one out for the Wii U, PS3, and Xbox 360, but this is a fun platformer as well. This is one of my very first Sega Saturn games I picked up. I really like it. It's really fun, and back to how much I paid for it not at Level Up. I got this also before Level Up opened up, but this is a really bright, vibrant, fun game to play. Very fun platformer. I actually do have Rayman Origins. I think it's Origins. Let's see. I think it's around there, but I think it's Rayman Origins. I think Legends is the new one. I keep forgetting them, but this is what I like. This very fun, cool platformer. Yippee-ki-yay! Beep beep. The beep beep is, if you know what I mean, I don't want to say the actual beep, what the beep beep means, because there are going to be little ones watching or younger people watching, so I will leave that out. But this also was fun. This is a fun, actually this is a brawler actually. And that's how much I got that for. What's cool is I think they took the concept for this game and actually made it the Dreamcast game Dynamite Cop is just like this, only better graphics and it still has the 2-player mode, but I think these are both really fun. Although I can finish these very quickly, but it's a fun brawler while it lasts, and it's not bad. Even though I hear there's a mini game you play that is separate from the main game. It's kind of like supposed to be, I think it's it looks like an old Atari game or an old arcade game. It's called like Deep Sub, or I forget exactly what it's called. But if you can get extra continues in that Deep Sub or that sub game, that mini game, and you can transfer them to this game for more credits. So yeah, like a Street Fighter. Oh, it's Street Fighter the movie. Well, I actually enjoy this. I know this has gotten a lot of crap, but I think it controls remarkably well. I call this the Mortal Kombatizing of Street Fighter, and I don't mean it by the gore or the fatalities. I say that because it uses the digitized graphics. They actually digitized the actors from the movie and put them in the game. But otherwise, all the moves are done the exact same as the arcade games and the home console versions. It's just they just put in the actors instead of artwork. There's the digitized graphics. So you should probably, if you do find it cheap, it's kind of fun to play as the actual actors, but it controls remarkably well, and I would highly, and I do recommend it. Although probably not highly recommend it, but I recommend it for a good time, So yeah. Anyway, now this I don't have a box for, and I haven't played this yet. I know I have a lot of games, so I have to. But I forget good things about this. It's a fun platformer. And that's all I have to say about that. Mortal Kombat! No, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, and actually they did make a Mortal Kombat trilogy, but I do have it I do have trilogy on the PlayStation on the N64, but I would love to get the Saturn version as well. But still, though, this is not bad. But Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is not bad. I picked this up for very cheap at Level Up. But yeah, I think it was an alright game. It's not too shabby. And that's, yeah, good stuff. And speaking of Mortal Kombat, heck, we'll go down to Mortal Kombat 2. This I think I got also at Level Up. I have this, of course, on the Super Nintendo, Genesis. I have it on the PS3 as a downloadable as part of the Combat Collection. I know I'm missing some other stuff, but I figure I'm a collector, and this is not too bad. This is an enjoyable arcade looking. It looks pretty cool. Oh, and I also have this game as part of on GameCube as part of the Midway Arcade Collection as well. But it's not bad. A nice little piece out of the collection. Speaking of NBA Jam, here's this College Slam. This is actually this is basically NBA Jam, but with college teams instead of NBA teams. And of course, being at College Slam, there's no play, because NCAA players aren't really pros, they can't lend their likenesses to the game. So you'll see here they got power forward, center, the positions instead of their names. But I also see an NBA Jam style gameplay with the dunks and the alley-oops. And I think, yeah. But this time it's a real college team. And this is not too shabby. This is a cool little game made by, the same company that made NBA Jam. Although, it didn't do as well as NBA Jam did. But I thought it was alright. Of course, wow, that's a hungry basketball. But anyway. And the House of the Dead. I am sorry, I couldn't help myself. But this was one of my more expensive Saturn games. one of the most expensive. The next one, there was an even more expensive one than this that I have in my collection. I'll get to it in just a second. But this is cool because I think this is the only console, this is the only version of the first House of the Dead that I know of. I know it was on PC as well, but yeah, this was pretty fun. I finished this a couple of times. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Even though some reviewers don't really care much for it, but I like it. It has stunner compatibility, and I do have House of the Dead 2 and its other sequels, but I think this is a fun game. Pretty fun to play. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, now I have all of my... These are all my ones I have in cases. Now I have a couple of them that I have loose or lying around. I don't say lying around, but these are my loose copies that when I bought them, they really didn't have a case, so I had to get a case for them. So I'll just go through and crack some Virtual Cop 1, so I have both Virtual Cops, which is cool. This did come in this one with sleeves, but I wanted an actual case to prevent it from getting wrecked, so yeah. And then here's Street Fighter Alpha 2. I have the gold version on the Street Fighter collection up there, but I figure, again, I like being a collector, so it comes with the territory, yeah. And then I have the first Virtual Fighter, although I heard this one was really, really choppy or something. I heard it was really choppy, and so they made a Virtual Fighter remix or something that corrected the issues with this one. So I haven't played this one yet. I'd like to see how really choppy or something as they say it is. So, yeah. And then I have the first Street Fighter Alpha. So that's cool. That's I got. So this is kind of cool. So this is a fun little game as well. But yeah. Oh, hello, me. Hee hee. Wow, this is really shiny. But yeah, this is a fun addition to the collection. Good fun game. Anyway. And finally, last but not least, I have one import game. Back when I was working at the Fish and Wildlife Service, I found this bad boy. This, my friends and my power fans, this is the Japanese version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And it never made it to the Saturn version. Never made it to America. And my said friend Josh has this game, this version. It's really cool. The funny thing is, I think I consider this the more superior version of Symphony of the Night compared to the PlayStation version. But I think they could have done so much more with this part. Anyway, yeah, this game. What's cool about this game is this has, you can pick from besides this Alucard, you can pick from Maria and even Richter right off the bat, because and I kind of wish this came to America, and plus I feel that they didn't, the Saturn was a 2D powerhouse, and they could have done this game so well, but I think they didn't really spend the time to port this game as they should. But this is a really fun import game, and this is, I think, my most expensive Saturn game I have. But this is really fun, so I highly suggest, if you can find this at a store or something, if you like Saturn, if you're a collector, pick this up. This is awesome. So, but yeah. Well, that's it for my Saturn collection. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Power